Alright, hello everybody. I thought I'd take a look at Tyranny briefly. I don't have too much time, but I wanted to get something up and running as soon as I could for those folks who, like myself, maybe have to work during the day, but figured I'd just on my lunch break take a look at it. I just got it up and running and installed. I'm going to take a look at the options real quick. This was turned off. I turned it on because I like to see all the stuff. I like to see all the things that I've done and can change and modify during dialogue, so I'll leave that stuff all turned on. Voice frequency, this is a pretty long game. Let's bump it down a little bit so we don't hear these call-outs too often. Loot radius being 6 meters, I think that's fine. Let's go up to 8. It's not much different, but we'll leave it at 6 for now. That's just if you loot a body and there's other bodies nearby, you're actually looting them all at once. It's a time-saving feature, which I like, and I don't really know why I wouldn't want it on 8, but we'll leave it at 6 for now. Difficulty, let's see, death. Characters will die permanently when their health reaches 0. I wondered how this works, because you only have so many companions in the game. You can't, as far as I know, create your own companions to use if you wanted to use your own custom companions, which is like something you can do in Pillars of Eternity. Let's see, auto-level companions. Anyway, I don't know why. This is definitely nothing I'm going to play with my first game, but we will leave everything else turned on. Yeah, I like all this stuff. Auto pause. Let's see. I've always liked having auto pause, mostly when. Let's see here. Not necessarily when we spot something. Although, yeah, hidden object. This is good. Let's find a trap that spots. It pauses. Low on health. Let's pause on that. And where's enemy spotted? Here we go. Enemy spotted. And then stop movement. Yeah, I like that. That's how I like to have it set. Camera, auto center, and pause. Yeah, I hate when cameras move on their own. Let's see. I'm not gonna mess with that. I've already jacked up anti-aliasing. I'm playing in 1080 right now. Once I'm not recording, I'll go up to 1440, and I might bump up the font scale, but I kind of like tiny fonts, so we'll probably leave that alone. I actually like colorblind mode in Pillars of Eternity because I like the blue cursor, the blue highlighter underneath the character models, more than the green. Even though I like green better as a color, I just prefer the colorblind mode for some reason. But I'll leave it off for just to begin things. Selection circles, that's what I was trying to think of. I've already got sound turned down quite a bit. Too much. I can't hear anything actually. Let me check something here. Should be sound. I'm not sure why there's no sound. But that's fine. It doesn't need to be sound for this first part when I'm just doing the character creation stuff. Okay, so let's do this. Let's get out of this and go new game. Now here is the difficulty, and as you can read for yourself, normal is normal. You got a little bit of forgiveness, and if you make a few mistakes in combat, you got story mode for people who don't want to deal with combat but just want to go through the narrative and think of it as like an interactive novel, perhaps. I want to play on hard because I like the idea that survival requires, optimization of stats and items and spells and abilities. That to me makes those things worthwhile. Like those important choices become more important if you're playing on a setting that you need to use that stuff for. Otherwise, if I could just throw my stats wherever and have it not mean anything, I may as well play in story mode. Plus, enemy AI is more efficient and uses abilities more frequently. I think that's good. I think everyone should play on the same, play according to the same game rules, the mechanical RPG rules. So I'm going to put it on hard. And here we go. Characters become wounded when their health is significantly reduced or they are knocked out. Wounds are clear when a character gains a new level or the party rests. There's audio. I just haven't turned that too low.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. the elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
I have not seen that before. That was neat. I like the way they explained all that stuff. That was good. Okay, so I already kind of have an idea of what kind of character I want to make, so this won't take too long. But I've never watched anyone do the conquest portion where you get to choose your roles and what you were doing during the invasion. So, with that, let me back up a step. Tyranny is about a game where the evil Overlord has already conquered the land, and you're just one of his cogs in the machine. Looks like there's a couple different factions working under Kairos, the Overlord, Emperor, whatever his title is. And those are the Scarlet Chorus and the Disfavored. The Disfavored strike me as being a little bit like the Malazan from the Malazan Book of the Fallen by Steven Erikson, which is kind of cool. Although I don't think they're quite the good guys the Malazans ended up sort of being. So, okay, let's just get this going here. Do I want to make it a girl or a guy? I kind of wanted to make a wizard is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to maybe be like a normal-looking wizard dude. Alright, let's do this. Let's see here. Well, that's kind of a cool-looking shade of bronze or whatever. Let's do that. Alright, roll. In the Northern Empire, where you were born, men enjoy equal protections under the laws of the Overlord Kairos. I like these little pop-ups. You can get like an orange hypertext. You can kind of see more information. Alright, so let's see. In the southern lands of the tiers, only men may own or captain ships, but real estate is restricted to women. Men may lease, but durable ownership of the land in the tiers always passes to eldest daughter or sister. Most sons enter their father's profession by their mid-teens. Those without a profession or family lands to work can find purpose by pledging service to one of the Overlord's mighty Archons. Criminals, derelicts, and others are often conscripted into the armies of the Archons. If a child cannot forge his own skein, he will certainly find one in battle. Alright, well, I'm going to make a dude. I don't get a boat probably, though. Okay, so let's do this. We want face and hair. I see what we're doing here. The yellow part is what we're highlighting and working with. Let's make a dude with, I don't know. Probably have a helmet on. Doesn't really matter. Let's go with some kind of brown. And then we want, I kind of like that, actually. And I like this guy's beard. I want that one. Actually, that looks really good right there. I like the art style here. It's really good. Okay, we don't want sneaky. How about a noble?
Moving cautiously. My wounds are slowing me down. Have a look here.
Okay, that sounds alright. Let's do that. And then portrait-wise, that guy. I kind of like that guy because I was going to make a wizard guy. That's pretty cool. There's actually a fair amount of portraits to pick from. Let's see. Looks like those are all the females. Not all of them. Just trying to skim through here for ones I... Actually, this is pretty good. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Okay, let's do that one. Alright, history. Now, this will most likely be something that, as far as I know, it influences dialogue options and starting equipment and probably some reputation stuff here and there. So we have Pit Fighter. What if I wanted to read that? Oh, I see. I can click it. And we've got Hunter and Guild Apprentice. This is Neurot. And this is Tunon's the guy that I seem to be working for. He's the guy that imposes the laws, and then I enforce them, if I remember right. Noble Scion, Soldier, Lawbreaker, War Mage, and Diplomats. I kind of like the idea of basically all of these, but I wanted to play as a War Mage, someone who has the wits and courage to be accomplished casters and warriors. When I reached adulthood, Tunon, the educator, came to the barracks and laid claim to my life, seeing me as too valuable for the crucible of battle. Alright. Alright, here we go. Next up. Okay, so primary expertise. So this is going to sort of define the class that I am. There's no class per se, but this is where you kind of pick the opening skills and abilities that you're going to start the game with. Like a game like Skyrim, you can sort of branch out from there, and I could always go back and start using swords later if I wanted to. But this is going to dictate my starting attributes and skills. So I kind of wanted to go with Frost and Shock and just be a pure mage. So let's do that. Shock. Ooh. Man, that's cool. I've always been more of a lightning guy than a frost guy, so let's start with Frost. And then we're going to go with, I get Charged Fist, 10 to 15 shock versus endurance, and it can push guys up to 8 meters. And it has a strong interrupt, so it can potentially stop someone from the middle of their attack. And we're going to do, actually, maybe, now, you know what, I'll find other spells and expertises as the game goes. Let's just start with Frost. Because that'll give me Frozen Grasp, which is a 2-meter kind of short range, just like Charged Fist, does a little bit less damage, but it does frozen guys. And I don't know what frozen actually means, but picking these two expertises gives me +2 to my Control Frost skill, +3 to Magic Staff skill, +10 lore, Control Lightning, and a little bit of dodge from those I've chosen there. Alright, so let's, next up, I believe, colors and banner customization. Well, that's kind of cool. That's a good banner right there. Oh, that's not quite. Oh, here we go. Let's do that. Oh, that's not a good idea. Actually, I kind of like the way that darkness look. Okay, I don't want to spend too much time on the dumb banner. Let's see. Kind of like, actually, that looks a little bit nicer. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. Shit, this is kind of neat. Alright, let's just stick with this. This looks really good. Yeah. Alright. And a good name. I've always liked to use a couple of the same names when I make characters in role-playing games. Tavix is one of my favorite mage names. I wish I have a second name. Nah, let's go with the first name. Alright. Attributes. Well, it looks like Might is for melee attacks and ability strength. Finesse is for your accuracy, which actually I think everyone would need accuracy, but I use determined accuracy of attacks and spells, so I do want a little bit of accuracy. I get 3 points per. So the way combat works is your accuracy is rolled with a dice, added to a dice roll, compared against the enemy's defense, and then the resulting number, if it's positive, is a hit. And how high of a positive number determines if it was a graze or a hit or a flat out miss, or if it's a critical. So the higher your accuracy, the more often your abilities and attacks will land. So finesse is pretty important, but quickness is how often you can make an attack or cast a spell. Vitality is how healthy you are, how much damage you can take before you drop. Wits are the most important thing for my character because I've got 2 expertises that are magic focused, and each point makes my damage go up 5%. That's quite a bit. 18's as high as I can go because I only have 8 points. What if I went down a point here? Nope, 18's the highest you can start with. That's a 40% bonus to my spell damage. So instead of doing 10 to 15 with my lightning spell, it would suddenly be doing like 14 to 20 or whatever. Math. I don't want to go up quite that high though in wits. I do want some, though. Resolve, what does Resolve do? Affliction duration, so like the frozen effect would last longer with a few more points in Resolve. Alright, we definitely want some Finesse. We definitely want some Quickness. And we definitely want Wits. We don't necessarily need Might. And maybe I can be a bit of a glass cannon here and put another point here and a little bit in Resolve for now. And I can always level up as you gain levels yourself. You can upgrade those. This looks good. Let's start with that. Okay. These are all the skills, and actually, like Skyrim, they actually level up from use, and then their gaining points as you use them is how your character levels up. So I do get 20 points to start the game with to kind of customize my starting skills. And I kind of wanted to have a few points in lore, because lore is important for improving your spells with the spell crafting system. Like if I find some cool accents I can use to make my spells do more damage or have more range or change the shape of them or even change their very nature, like maybe instead of having a lightning spell that hits someone, I could have a lightning spell that enchants my weapon or an ally's weapon. But those things require lore to equip. So you want to have a high lore. Magic staff determines the effectiveness of attacks using a magical staff. So when my spells are on cooldown, I'm going to want to be able to attack with my magic staff, and that's where this comes in. So that seems pretty important as well. Parry, athletics, subterfuge, these are all probably important skills to put points into as you're using them, but for what I'm starting with, let's make sure I can have at least a 34 in both of these. I wonder why Frost was so much lower. It needs quickness. This uses resolve. Oh, I see. I just have more quickness than I have resolve, so start a little bit higher. And I have an extra point. Let's just dump it in lore. All right, very good. Looks good to me. All right, how do you want to start? Now, if you want, you can pick a quick start and then choose like a template of how things started for your character, what you were doing during the war, during the siege and conquest, basically. But if you want, you can do the conquest itself, and that segues into where you get to watch a story unfold and you're asked questions. And I haven't really watched hardly any of this because I don't want to know any of it, so this is going to be all new. So I'm going to actually do the conquest, but I'm going to probably stop the video here for three reasons, really. One, I think if you're into the game enough that you've watched me do this for 15 minutes and make a character, you probably want to do the conquest stuff yourself. Two, it's going to be a lot of me reading stuff, and I think that's boring. So, you know, that's just something, my opinion, and you guys are feel free to try it yourself. Three, I actually run out of time, and I need to get back into work. So, I'm going to do the conquest here after I get back from work, but I'm going to stop the recording now to upload what I've done as a part one. And when I get back off work here in a couple hours, I'll start recording part two, and we'll look at the gameplay, and we'll examine the mechanics and the way the things work. So thanks for watching so far, and I hope to talk to you again very soon.